Hey guys, Break here. Welcome back to the next episode in my How to Make Gold series, and also the second part of the TSM Ultimate Guide. So the last video was on setting up TSM, getting your group sorted, getting your auctioning operations sorted, and hopefully you guys have had a chance to play around with TSM and get to learn it if you haven't. However, today we're going to be talking about crafting, which is a major aspect of TSM. It's how I make most of my gold, it's how a lot of people make most of their gold. Next time we'll talk about shopping, which is again a great way to make gold. But crafting is probably the easiest, and it's what I'm going to be showing you today. So as you guys now know, you probably have your groups. You either imported them or made them yourselves. The good thing about importing is you do get every single item basically, which is useful for crafting. So if you haven't imported, maybe look at the last video and look at importing some groups, at least then you'll understand them. Again, these are the groups I based off Shayra's, which I've mentioned multiple times before, but I'll say it again, they are based off Shayra's operations and subgroups, but I've changed them a lot. All the operations are different, a lot of the groups are completely my own, and the other groups I just based the subgroups off Shayra's. That is the original profile, but I've changed it to make it a lot more user-friendly, I believe. As you probably know by now, each group has an operation attached to it. For example, we'll go into Legion Glyphs group, and on operations we'll see my auctioning operation, my mailing operation, which we all talked about yesterday, and the crafting operation. Now this is very important. If you want TSM to craft things for you, you're going to want to have crafting operations. Now when you first log in with TSM and you open up the crafting window, it will say, do you want TSM to make some groups for you for this? And I would say no, it's better to make your own, so you've got a good layout and you know exactly what you want to be crafting, and it just makes it a lot easier. But I mean, you can do that if you want and then just sort it out, but I'd import your own groups or make your own groups and then do the crafting operations. So you want to click on the crafting and you want to create a new operation, or you want to add an operation. We have loads and loads of these, again based off Shayra's, but I've added probably about double and I've changed them up a lot as well to make them a bit easier to work with. And they're pretty easy. Crafting 10, 1 gold min profit. That will make 10 as long as they each give 1 minimum gold profit. Crafting 10, 500 min. Again, that will also craft 10, but only if they have a 500 min profit. You guys get the idea. The only difference is the Legion Alchemy Flasks and Legion Alchemy Potions. I think this was Shayra, or it might have been someone else who made the rank 3 proc chance. Either way, this is a great little thing. It basically adds a, let's find it. It works out the 1.473, which is the proc chance. So every time you make a flask when you have alchemy rank 3, there's basically you're going to get 1.5 times the potions that you normally get, if you get what I mean. So that just adds that in. So even if it looks like you're making a loss, which it will show you're making a loss, but with this TSM will work it out. So even if it costs 500 gold to make and the potions sell for 400 gold, that doesn't seem like a good profit, but actually if it's got this operation attached to it, 1.473, even if it costs 500 gold to make, it's not going to be 400 gold, it's going to be basically 1.5 of 400, so it's going to be 600 gold, which would be a profit, and then TSM would tell you to make it. You guys get the idea? Anyway, that's the only slightly complicated one, and that's only for rank 3 alchemy. The rest of them are very, very simple. And if you want to make your own, you can do so very easily. Break test. So max restock and min restock again. So say we want to make 5 min restock. I usually just leave that as 1, but if you just don't want to bother making 1, you could put that to 2 or 3. And there we go. Set minimum profit, I want to say 100 gold. So this will make 5 at 100 gold. You guys get the idea? Easy stuff. So now you've set up some operations. Again, you'll either use the ones I've already got set up, or you can make your own. It's all a matter of personal opinion. Anyway, you then want to go into your profession and get crafting. We haven't actually done a video on professions in my Make Gold series at the moment, so this will kind of combine TSM crafting with the professions. But it's very, very simple. I've done videos on all the professions that you can go check out. Probably a lot of other people have as well. Legion's very simple. You don't need any level in the profession, apart from for a very few number of things. You can just have level 1. You go learn it from the trainers in Dalaran. They'll give you a quest chain. You then go and do that quest chain. It usually takes about half an hour if you've got flying, maybe 20 minutes even. Doesn't take very long. Sometimes you'll be asked to do a dungeon, which can be a bit annoying if you're on an alt, but others don't make you do dungeons. Either way, you just want to finish all the quests that they give you about the profession, and then you're literally done. I do suggest having as many alts as possible so you can cover as many professions as possible, but if you're just starting out making gold, then one profession is probably good enough. So you only need 800, I think, if you want to make the Saber's Eyes for jewel crafting. I think if you want to make the legendaries, and I think if you maybe want to make the blacksmithing mounts that you get from Nighthold, though I'm not certain about that one. Either way, there are only a few things that you need 800 for. Most of the Legion professions are based around the ranks. As you see here, I've got rank 1 Darkmoon card, I've got rank 2 Prophecy, and okay, glyphs are a bad example because we don't have ranks, but see here, I've got rank 2s and you can get rank 3s. If you do want to switch between the TSM crafting window and the normal, you just go in the top left there and it will switch you in between. But yeah, the next rank, it will tell you where to buy it, so that's why it's good to see here. So here, next rank, okay, buy that with Sightless Eyes. This one you need Exalted and it's going to cost you 3,000 gold. And yeah, that's how you get the ranks. This one you just buy in Argus for 2,000 gold. You guys get the picture. It's very simple, and what the ranks do is it just means you get less materials to make the same thing. Basically, it gives you more profit. So it's very important to get at least the rank 2s, and really to get the rank 3s. I don't know why I haven't got them, because this is just on a random alt, and I'm very lazy. But the funny thing is, I don't even have rank 3s for loads of my professions, and I still make so much gold. So if you guys can get the rank 3s, it's going to be even better for you, but I wouldn't worry too much. I still make lots of gold from all of this stuff. Anyways, back to TSM. This is the crafting window. So you press the arrow here, you can go down to your other professions on that character. This will just let you search for something, bar, whatever. TSM groups, this is where you can restock. We'll talk about that later. Same with gather and everything. And yeah, you can press this thing here, and that will show you the crafting cost, the value of the items, whatever. I'd have it at profit for sure. And here we go, anything that makes a profit, such as the boots, what else, the pauldrons. It'll just go down and show you profits. And then when you go down to the kind of transmog gear, old world gear, some of them will show huge profits. And to be fair, they do actually sell for these prices generally. There are some exceptions. They do sell, but obviously they sell very slowly. So don't go spending all your gold making one transmog piece that's going to take, you know, a month or two to sell. As you see, I sold one of these 22 days ago for 16,000. Crafting costs 7k, so that's a real nice profit, but they do take a while to sell. Just be wary of that, and be wary of that when you're doing your crafting. Anyway, how do we make gold with this? So you open up the window, you go to TSM groups, you select the thing we want to do, so we're just going to concentrate on blacksmithing for the moment. So again, you'll need to set up your operation, your crafting operations. Again, they may have been set up already if you've imported, but I'd go over them and make them to whatever you want. And then you press restock selected groups. And then you go show queue. And then it shows up here, everything that will make a profit as stated by your crafting operation will show up here. If you want to clear the queue because it's got random stuff, you can do that and then restock. So here we go, and here it will say what it's going to cost me to make, which is 281,000 gold to make all of these, with a profit of 534,000. So that's kind of crazy. That's like 200% profit. Really nice. But again, there are some issues with these. The transmog often skews results. So what you can do, instead of selecting all of blacksmithing, you can select, say, Legion blacksmithing. That's a great thing to do when you're starting off. I suggest if you've never used TSM before, I'd just select the Legion stuff because that all sells very quickly. Again, restock groups, and here we are, 89,000 gold cost and a 50,000 gold profit. Again, pretty good. That's like a 50% profit. Remember guys, this is profit, so I'm not getting 50,000 gold back. I'm getting my 89,000 gold back plus an extra 50,000 profits. So this is good. This is nice and simple. We know all of these sell, and it's going to be a great start to you guys. So what do we do now? We want to go on to gather, and this is going to bring up another window. There are a few items you might want to tick or untick here. Personally, I tick disable crafting and disable disenchant search. These are like different searches you can do on TSM where you'd like, it would search for items, then you could disenchant those items to get the whatever it is, shard or whatever, instead of buying it straight out to save you some gold. But that's a lot of effort, and I don't really suggest doing that unless you're super keen on saving every bit of gold you can and you have unlimited time. This is going to save you the most time. You can press ignore alts, but I wouldn't, because you might have some materials on alts that you can then send over. So I just tick these three and then press start gathering. So here a window pops up. On the left is every item we need to make all of these. So laystone ore, stone hide, blood of Sargeras, 58. I have probably 0, which is great. That's another problem crafting on your alts, guys. You're always going to have trouble getting the blood of Sargeras, but whatever. You guys are probably doing this on your main if it's your first time, so that's all good. But what you really want to concentrate on is the stuff on the right. So intermediate craft, it will probably say this, and this is very important. It's a cheaper way of making the items. So the second you press gather and you get these windows, you want to go into intermediate craft, and then generally you want to select these two. You want to select whatever's shown, then TSM will start buying the items needed for demon steel bars rather than buying demon steel bars themselves. Why is this useful? Well, demon steel bars, I sell them myself on the auction house, and you usually make about double selling the bars. So if I was to buy the bars from the auction house to make all these items, that would cost me about double than it would do to just make the bars myself. And obviously we'll want to save money, so we're going to go make the bars ourselves. Same with the lay shatter for Arcanar. The annoying thing is, this is required on my enchanter, so I'd have to log over to my enchanter, do the lay shatter, and then send it over. So maybe I don't want to do that because it's probably not going to save me that much gold. Let's be honest, Arcanar's not that expensive. So I'm not going to bother doing that. Again, that's the kind of choices you have to make. Okay, I do want to bother with the demon steel bars, but I can't be bothered to log over to my alt. Go back to gathering, and we're ready to go. Now, an awesome thing about the gathering is that whenever you go somewhere where you need something and press gather, it will just gather it. So sadly, I don't need anything from my bank, but if it's said here, get from bank. Okay, it says get from hex bank, that's my alt. But say if it said I needed something from my own bank, this would be white, I could press gather items, and then they'd all show up in my bags. If I log over to an alt, the same thing will happen. I log on to Hexed, I will go to the bank, I'll press gather items, they'll show up in my bags, and then what I'll do is I'll go to the mailbox, and this will show up as send items, and I'll just press that, and all the items will send over to this guy. So that's what you do on alts. You guys get the picture. This is so useful. I'll just show you again if I needed a vendor item, which I don't, but I'll show you guys. I'm just going to add inscription to my groups real quick. There we go. Okay, there's definitely an issue here. It's telling us to make 200 of each one. we've messed up. We've really messed up our operations. This should not be the case, but that's fine. We'll change it later. You definitely don't want to make 200 of each glyph. I don't know why that's happened. So this is the issue. For some reason we had Legion Alchemy flasks in the inscription. It was probably when I was looking at them earlier. I messed something up. But I like to do crafting for 100 gold min profit for glyphs, which is kind of, you know, that's alright. So we will close that, we'll clear the queue, we'll do it again, and hopefully it won't be so crazy. Good, it's not so crazy at all. So we'll do the same thing, we'll go to gather, start gathering, and oh look, I can now show you guys exactly what I was talking about. So here we go to my reagent bank. Oh no, we have to go to Guild Vault, sorry. It's not my normal bank, it's my Guild Vault. Again, I made my guild bank, we talked about in episode 1 of this series. Gather items, and there we go. The stuff I needed just showed up in my bags. Real simple. Again, I need stuff from vendor. I actually need 4,000 basically light parchment. I think that's because I'm making 200 Tome of the Tranquil Mines, so that's what costs all the light parchment, but that's fine. We're just gonna go over to the vendor. Where are you? We'll go to Ink Trader, see if we need any inks. Okay, we don't have the pigments required for those inks, but if we had enough pigments, it would show up. And if we go to the inscription guy, buy vendor items, and it's going to start buying everything we need. So there we go. That's 4,000 light parchment bought just like that. And now we've got all the stuff. Pressed it again, we got more light parchment and the wooden staff, and there we go, it's gone. Anyway, that was just an example. We'll go back to my blacksmithing, crafting, and look, we actually only need to buy 3 things from the auction house. Usually your list is going to be a lot longer, and if you look at my daily craft videos, on every daily craft video I've done this, so you guys should have great examples of that if you go on my series there. So yeah, this is the most important part. You'll need to buy stuff from the auction house. You right click on the auction guy, make sure you're in the shopping tab, and then press buy items, and things will start showing up. So here it's probably searching for the laystone or the stone hide because it's taking a little while. Okay, it's the stone hide. We need 159, so it doesn't matter if you buy more, you're probably going to use it later. There we go. I'm buying with the mouse wheel as we talked about last time, and once you've bought enough, it will say you've bought enough, and it will move on to the next thing. So here we are, laystone. We need 420 of those, so I'm going to buy 400 there, and I'll buy another, whatever, I'll buy another 100. There we go, and it will finally go to the Eye of Prophecy. Someone's selling a stack of 42. I don't think we quite need that many, but these are nice and cheap at the moment. So 3, 4, 5, and that stack of 5 should take us to 9. Maybe one more. Okay, anyway, we're done. We then go to the mailbox, we open it all, and then we've got everything. So again, you want to mail the things it says over, and then you're ready to get crafting. So we open up the blacksmithing window again, and some of these things are now green. Why are they green? Because it means we can craft them already. So you just click on them to craft. I won't be able to do that because I'm not by an anvil. So when you are at a anvil or whatever, I still need my intermediate crafting done. So you'll press your intermediate crafting window, see what you need. So I still need my 255 demon steel bars, so I'm just going to get making these, and I'm not going to bother creating them all, but you guys get the idea. Once that's done, you go back to gathering, and you should have everything. I haven't actually finished intermediate crafting, and I haven't sent the stuff over because I'm just doing an example for you guys. But anyway, once you've done all that and you think you've got enough, you can just press stop gathering, and then you can get your proper crafting done. So we'll make the laystone stuff first. Laystone still sells, by the way, and it's selling for 500 gold each, some of this stuff. Some of it's only 100 gold, but I sell it every day. I don't know why, because it's so bad. But people with terrible geared alts, I have a few of those. You can just press crafting. you can do craft next. Okay, this is also making the Demon Steel bars, Demon Steel boots. And then we ran out of Demon Steel bars, so we're not going to be making any more of those. Sad times. But if you guys did the gathering right, then you shouldn't be running out of anything, and you should have everything you need. And like I say, just press it or press craft next. You can even use your mouse wheel if it's set up properly. There we go, just made everything that's green. A nice little profit. I mean, the biggest profit is coming from the things I currently can't make, including the dual. I don't know why dual crafting's come out. Have we got dual crafting selected? Who knows? Who knows, guys? Anyway, that should be all good for you guys. I hope you get the picture. If I had some Blood of Sargeras and could be bothered to make the Demon Steel bars, then I'd make the rest of them. Not today though, guys. Then, if you've set up your TSM mailing correctly, like we showed last video, when you go to, what should we go? We'll go on blacksmithing, mail selected groups, and hopefully the items are going to move over. Those two will go in a second. There we go. Send it all to our bank vault, and that's how you make gold, guys. If you guys can just learn to do that and do it every few days, do it on a couple of characters, hopefully, so that's 4 professions, you're going to be making a lot of gold, and that's how you can make millions and millions and millions. Again, you can't tell me this doesn't sell because I've done it on multiple servers. Obviously, on high pop servers, you're going to have to undercut more. We looked at the undercut scans in the last video. You just want to run your cancel scans and post everything again. And if you're on low pop, things will take longer to sell, but this is Legion gear, it's still going to sell. I will show you guys when things get a bit more complicated. I'll show you guys what I do when I craft. I select the entire, not that, I select the entire blacksmithing and the entire inscription. Then I do restock groups, and it's going to be a lot of stuff. 346,000 gold, that's going to cost me, but I'm going to make a 723,000 profit. Mostly, well, a lot from the glyphs and also from the transmog gear, because some of the transmog gear will probably be showing like a 50k profit, or look, that's showing 3k. I don't know, I can't find it. But anyway, that's why the profit is so much, is because of the transmog gear, so please bear that in mind. If you are patient to watch and wait for it to sell, then you're going to be in the business. But if you don't have much gold, maybe do what we did before and just select the Legion blacksmithing, whatever profession you're doing. But yeah, like if you do watch my daily crafts, this is the kind of stuff I do, and it takes a long time. Look, guild vault, vendor, intermediate craft is a lot of stuff you got to click. A vendor trade, obviously you trade stuff in at the vendor, mailing, all that mailing, more banks on the alts, and then auction house. If you can't be bothered to visit your alts, you can press ignore alts, but it's going to save you gold, so it's probably best to do it. And look, by the time we get to the auction house, there's not actually that much we have to buy, because most of the stuff's in the intermediate crafting. But if we do press all of these, then there's going to be more stuff showing up in the auction house. Look, there we go, a few more things. But that's how you do it. That is how you make gold. It's how you make a lot of gold. It's how I make almost all my gold. I do a bit of flipping, but not too much compared to some people. I basically just do crafting. And please do give it a try, guys. Let me know how it goes. The only issue I think you guys will find is the crazy profits it might show from some items. There are lots of ways to get around that. You can just remove that item because it's usually an old transmog that will never sell. So you can just remove that item or just not give it a crafting operation. And you do have to be very careful. So I'll give you an example. We'll go back to blacksmithing. So for my Legion blacksmithing, say relics, I've got the crafting operation set to probably like crafting 400 gold min, yeah. So if I have 2 in my bank, or I've got 2 in the auction house, it will just craft 2. By the way, for any of you wondering. So it's not going to always craft 4 because it knows what's in your alts and what's on the auction house, and then it will only craft another 2, so that's really good. Very useful, this TSM. But then if I go to, say, Old World Blacksmithing, the Titan Steel gear, that'll probably be crafting 1 at 500 gold min. Probably set it to something like that. I don't want to be making 4 of the transmog pieces. I only want to be making 1 or 2. So yeah, I've got it set to crafting 1. That's very important, guys. You've got to change your operations depending on whether it's Old World or not. And again, here, the very Old World, it'd probably be the same, something like 1 500 gold min. We'll just have a little look. Yeah, there we go. A better example is in engineering, because they have the mounts. So the relics for engineering, I've probably got 400 gold min, because that's what I usually do for Legion gear. There we go. That's what I've got it set as. But if we go to, say, the Reeves modules, because these will often sell for crazy profits on the auction house, and it will really mess up your crafting. You'll be like, whoa, I've got to make these. Look, it costs 1k to make, and it sells for 10k. Thing is, these very rarely sell. They do sell, so if you do want to do them, you can, but they very rarely sell. So I think you'll find I don't even have a crafting operation set up for those. I press no operation because I just don't want to make them. And if we then go to mounts, wherever they are, or Gnomish engineering, no, mounts, here we are, engineering mounts. I've probably got these set to like 5k profit or something. Yeah, crafting 1 5k profit, because the mounts are expensive to make. I don't really want to make them unless I'm going to get a decent profit. So that's what I've got set there. So please do remember that, guys. Remember to set your crafting operations differently. You don't want to be making 4 of the transmog items. You don't want to be making 200 of the glyphs, as that error showed us earlier. But you do want to probably be making at least 3 or 4 of the Legion items, because those are going to sell like daily. So within a week they'll have definitely all sold, and then you can get crafting again. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's probably really long again, but it is important to get out there. We'll do shopping and flipping in the next video, but this is the big one. This is the profession one. It's the crafting one. It's how you're going to make your gold. So good luck, guys, and until next time, see ya.